That's amazing. I sound like Chance the Rapper. I sound like Chance the Rapper. I sound like Chance the Rapper. Okay, here we go. So I just addressed this. Discover your peak creative hours. Hold on, let me. Oh, Shape Up is looking raw. Let me get it right. Discover your peak creative hours. Let's see. What does it say? Discovering your peak creative hours begins with understanding your circadian rhythm. Everyone is different. The good thing is you can alter these by changing sleep patterns and using light therapy to aid in changing your rhythms. Yeah, I remember Sam Esmail. Sam Esmail, fantastic director and screenwriter, telewriter. He created the show Mr. Robot, and he also did what's that show called? That really good show. He did the first season of Homecoming on Amazon Prime, and he also did another movie way back called Comet. And yeah, he was explaining how much he hates writing. Right? He when he knows he has to like write a script, he will procrastinate like mug. He will play video games. He'll go out for a walk. You know, he'll go talk with his wife. He'll do everything he can to not write. And then when he finally has done everything he can, and writing is his last option, he'll just start writing. And so it's sort of he writes out of like almost boredom, which is amazing considering how stellar of a writer he is. So despite what I said about like treating writing like a job, of course, when you're actually writing, you want to be able to stay focused. If you're easily distracted and easily pulled away from it, but ultimately, creative writing or creativity, it's so ethereal in the way that it is not about structure and form. Writers, when they're trying to just get it out, they're just vomiting, they're just working. Right, the creativity isn't really sinking in. There may be some type of creative motion in the subconscious, but because they have due dates, because they have specific goals in mind, they're just trying to get it out. The real creativity kind of comes into their second draft of it, where they get to kind of take their time, edit it, amend things, maybe can punch up certain things. So yeah, like trying to fit it in specific hours sometimes doesn't work for a lot of writers. It kind of just depends on how you operate as a writer, knowing what times of the day your creativity is firing up. So maybe it's early in the morning. One time we counseled a writer, a really wonderful young lady named Carmen. She spent a lot of time, or she usually got up before everybody else in her family. She was married, and I think she had like 3 kids. So she would get up early in the morning, and that's when she would sort of spend her time with the Lord, drinking tea and just reading her Bible and just talking to him and journaling. And so we advised her that she should also maybe extend that time and spend like maybe a half hour writing as well. So, and the idea there is that she's so fresh out of her time with God that maybe that would spill over into her writing, and that seemed to have been that seems like it was an effective step of practicality, which came from my mind. That step of practicality came from my wife. So yeah. You can always sort of work around that. You don't have to marry yourself to specific hours of the day. You can always play around with it. You can always try it in the morning, maybe try it in the middle of the day, maybe try it during your lunch, maybe try late at night. Maybe everyone in the house has to be just like asleep for you to function. So okay, next one. Creativity cannot be forced.